Yep, it happened, bro. I'm not even lying. FaZe is for sure over. I'm not even lying. Like, I'm talking about Stay Ronaldo left FaZe clan, Jason Nguyen, Adept, Lacey, Kayson. Will I even find Kayson? Hold on. Kayson. Kayson didn't leave? I mean, that is a heartbreak, so I'll take it. He's still there. Okay, maybe not Kayson, but that's crazy. Did I? Silky, I forgot about Silky. Whoa, hold on. Silky. And Silky, man. Which is probably insane. Hold on, why is Cheese twerking? Okay, anyway. Okay, that's, yeah, bro. I'm gonna be honest, they were the only org I was watching. I feel like I feel betrayed, bro. Is this the Christmas I want to start up with? Is this the 2026 we want to start this shit with? 2026, 27 is gonna be a bit weird, you get me? But yeah, let's get straight to the vid by Novely, bro. He's gonna summarize this, because I'm gonna be honest, I made another video, but I was tired, bro. I looked like I was on. I'm gonna be honest, so I'm just watching someone recap this.
We had no control, or it's like we're puppets. At least that's what it felt like. Anything could happen at any moment.
They tried to make that pay 20 bands a month. What the?
20 bands, by the way, just staying in a certain house.
Making him look like this ego monster. Don't know the truth, bro.
Wait.
I find you guys all to be incredibly ungrateful. I find you guys all to have insane egos, and I think it's disgusting and makes me sick to my stomach.
Recently,
oh god, that's crazy. That's probably the biggest plot twist that there was, that they were faking their relationship, or I'd say at least in between each other.
FaZe clan has been going through some of the worst turmoil of their life, where it seems like everybody is exposing what happened inside of FaZe clan, specifically Black Boy Max, his cousin, along with even FaZe Banks, because he got shade thrown at him, and it seems like everything is just falling apart. From all of the new FaZe members and even some of the OGs leaving, a lot happened today, and I want to dive into everything, so I don't want to yap too much. Why don't we start from the very beginning with how this all started in the first place?
Yo, at the end of this year, I think I'm gonna give a sit-down talk. I'm gonna talk about why 365 really ended and why I really left. Answer all the questions for y'all. I also gotta tell y'all a bunch of that was supposed to happen and why it didn't happen, like food.
Well, I'm pretty sure Max signed an NDA, like he signed papers to not disclose anything what happened really. So I do still think it was limited by a lot. Oh shit, I'm muted, that shit.
There's that I just cannot talk about, and I know it make it look crazy, and I be hate farming myself by doing that, but it's like I'll take it on the chin, bro. Because at the end of the day, chat, y'all gotta understand, people are fickle. Like, they'll hate you one moment, they'll love you the next, and hate you again.
There's gonna be a lot of background I need to add on this situation, so I'm gonna have timestamps in case you want to just hear what Platboy Max said in his most recent stream. But for the uninitiated and unaware, FaZe Clan is an organization that was down in the dumps and basically ruined to all belief, with the owners being taken over by corporate greed and those people just trying to get as much money out of
this. Happened once. They rebranded FaZe just to happen twice.
FaZe as possible. That content organization, which is what they mainly were, creating trick shot montages, playing video games, along with doing vlog era type content at the time, was being ruined inside and out, having a bunch of people leave and a bunch of people expose the mistreatment they were even experiencing from FaZe, not only on a content side, but also on a business side.
The brand has been mismanaged and out for so long and controlled by the absolute wrong people. We've been working on regaining any sense of control or authority or anything at this company for a long time, and that deck, like I said, was made a year ago.
And this left a lot of people believing that FaZe was just gone, as its stock had plummeted, a bunch of people had left, and they basically had no real money or no real content creators that were trying their best to make FaZe a thing again. And so FaZe Banks, someone who is a prominent owner and original creator of FaZe, bought the organization back and decided to rebrand into this new era of content, which was streaming.
And you guys have heard the story a million times. I guess I can run it through one more time. We got stolen from us, me and my boys.
BBL.
Shout out Tommy, Rain, Apex, got it back. Did the only thing that there was to really do, which was wipe the slate clean, hit the reset button, give the a fresh start. People told us we were dumb. People told me I was ruining FaZe. People asked me, who the is Lacey? Who the Black Boy Max? Stable Ronaldo? Who the Silky? I guess now they know.
This new era of
about
FaZe
Jason?
consisted of some of the highest viewed streamers in a recent day, that being Jason Ween, Flatboy Max, Lacey, Silky, and all of them have made tremendous content in recent years that have not only pushed their own brand, but also the FaZe brand further and have recognized it in new light and basically gave it a whole new meaning to be a part of FaZe. Unfortunately for them, those times cannot last forever though, as even though FaZe was on a generational run from being named Org of the Year to FaZe Miss to having an amazing FaZe subathon where they all reached new goals and new heights they never thought they would reach, it seemed like that all came to an end once.
Keep in mind, they all hit 100k subs. Jason doing over 300k, bruv. Like,
one crack was formed in the organization. That crack was Flatboy Max eventually leaving FaZe.
But yes, I'm leaving FaZe. Like I just said, I can't fully go into depth why I'm leaving FaZe, but I am leaving, and I'm ready to, you know, embark on my journey. Work the hardest I ever have in my career.
I'm gonna be honest though, when BBM left, people hated on him, bro. Look at him now. Nominated for the Grammys. Hit a lot of famous trends, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Do whatever I gotta do to make myself the biggest possible, make myself the biggest possible. Just keep working like we have for the past 4 years. Anyone that's been watching me for a while, yeah, I know I was never, like I always said, there's old clips where I got. I'm like, oh, I never joined a group, etc. Ended up joining a group, and I'm gonna be honest, it's one of the best decisions I ever made in my life, joining FaZe, like, for sure.
When Flatboy Max originally left FaZe, it seemed like it was for no real rhyme or reason, as the FaZe guys were on a generational run. All of a sudden, it came out that he had left the organization after doing a collab stream with them. So everybody was shocked, everybody was curious, and nobody really knew the real reason as to why he had left. He was just talking about building his own thing, being 5-star, and having that actually be what he wants to focus on. While FaZe as an organization, a lot of people had seen help him in ways that even he couldn't explain. So when it came out that the reason Flatboy Max apparently left FaZe was purely because of equity reasons or because he didn't actually own FaZe, a lot of people started pointing at him and telling him that he is a terrible person. It basically ruins FaZe for no real reason.
Shout out to everyone in FaZe. I love all of them. They my boys. I don't own FaZe. I don't own FaZe, gang. No ownership. I want to build something. If you're hurt because you're mad that I want to build something for myself, sorry, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm still going to do it. And I'm going to make this 5-star the big ever. And me, the ever. That don't mean I don't these, don't mean I won't these, don't mean I won't do these. I love them, they're my boys. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm going to do what I feel is right for me. And then when you see work out down the line, you'll see what I mean. That's all I'm going to say. I love these though, but I gotta make grown man decisions. I'm 22, not 18 no more in my mom room.
A lot of 5-star, which is Flatboy Max's own community, along with other people inside of the FaZe community, from Jason Ween to Stable Ronaldo all the way to Lacey, all of their comms were genuinely mad at Flatboy Max, especially with this explanation, because it just seemed like he wasn't giving a real reason as to why he left FaZe, and that fact being ownership and being that he wants to focus on 5-star, which is his own comm, really did upset them a lot. It didn't feel like an actual genuine explanation as to why he would destroy the so-called friendship that he built with them. But when you look at the current state of FaZe Clan, Flatboy Max was just a pioneer of what was yet to come. As the FaZe members that did stay and didn't leave, like Flatboy Max, are currently going through some turmoil with
Loki, that's why, just do your shit, bro. If you feel the gut in you, bro, just do it, bro. BBM was clown, he was getting hated on for that shit. Now that was probably the best thing he could have done, because now he's out the drama. People just drag his name back in it, just because, you know, he knew. He fucking knew.
As a whole, to put it lightly. And this led to them being MIA from the entire internet, their communities, and basically going silent, with some people having to speak up for them, like Marlon, who is closely tied to them, explaining that they are going through some troubles right now and for their communities to give them grace.
This has nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, the guys, whatever that is. I'm gonna say right now, we just cannot speak about
who's we, bro?
Speak about on with them. I cannot say anything. That's why I'm just trying to be very careful with how I word things. I'm be honest. That's why I said they will come out and whatever.
Wait, where the hell is Marlon gonna move to now though? The house is put on sale, no?
Whenever you feel ready to talk whatever is going on, you know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? I was not live either, and that was it. And that's pretty much what it is, bro. What I want to say is, though, what I do want to say is just have some grace on them, to all the communities, to all their communities. I'm going to say this right now. This is just for me speaking. You know what I'm saying? Just have some grace. Why I put the Illuminati thing before? They love y'all, obviously, all of it. And in due time, when they're ready, whatever they are going on, they will come out and explain.
While I unfortunately don't have an explanation from the FaZe members that are going through this turmoil, we actually do have some actions to show for them though. As most recently, all of those new rebranded FaZe members actually left FaZe, like Stable Ronaldo, Lacey, Jason the Ween, along with FaZe Adapt, who was an OG and gave FaZe a better part of half of his life, being a porter for 14 years, yet still leaving due to all the turmoil and terrible things that were happening during the organization. And this left a lot of people questioning and wondering what could possibly be happening with FaZe to have all of these members all of a sudden just leave an organization that not only brought them to the highest heights they've ever seen, but basically formed a brotherhood like no other. And while we don't have anything from them, we do have
money. They do funny money, and now they're just doing funny money towards everyone. But I don't want to talk about business, but they did some weird chat. They done some weird, because he's still part of something. So I'm not going to talk about everything, but all I'm going to say is, let me make it simple for you. I don't want in FaZe to feel crazy that they're still in FaZe, like where it's like forcing them to leave. That's why I didn't even say nothing to begin with, because I don't feel like I gotta leave now. You feel me? You feel me? But basically, it's like, how you gonna go off of FaZe, and then when it's time for like you get paid because it didn't go out in your favor, you try to R word that turned you up. Like, I'll give you one part. Gang, you see that little townhouse that Max was in FaZe? They tried to make that pay 20 bands a month. Jeez. What the? Or give a percentage of myself. What the? But Max is such a good, he just, yo, bro, I just want to, and now like Max look crazy, look like egoed out. No, that's not.
At the end of the day, that would low-key be, what's it called? A tax write-off, no? I mean, not really a tax write-off, but still, you're paying with the money you made, stay in the house, you get me? That means you go write that shit off for a business inquirement or whatever. You pay 20 bands for that shit. So, hey, that, I mean, it would be a win-win, I guess.
Cool, though. Like, making the chin, making him look like this ego monster. Don't know the truth, bro. So of course he's gonna look like this. Oh, this just worried about himself.
Because at the time, Black Boy Max's cousin, who you just heard spoke, was basically his assistant. He was able to sit in on some of these talks and get in on the conversations that were actually happening when it came to the FaZe as a collective. But since he didn't have to sign any papers, when it comes out talking about it on stream, no real collateral things can happen to him. And because of this much needed clarity that he was giving, a lot more people were looking at FaZe as one of the strangest and weirdest organizations in the entire world due to how they were treating their creators that literally brought back this brand that was in the dirt and no one truly cared about. And it gave much needed clarity to the stuff that was happening with Playboy Max when he originally left, even though the amount of hate that he was getting was unjust because of the things that were happening here. But obviously it wasn't just going to be him that spoke on the situation. With a couple hours after everything coming out, all of the FaZe members leaving, Playboy Max took to his stream to speak on the situation even further. Obviously not as much as he would like to, because he is bound by certain contracts of things he can and can't speak on, but he gave as much detail as he possibly could.
Good times. It was cool for the most part. Hiccups here and there, but nothing where it was like ever be a major issue. Even when we had our little issues, it was never, this is something that would break up, something that would potentially be a huge issue. Then
FaZe Miss 1 happened.
Everything's still smooth. As I know, FaZe Miss last year, 2024, is a great vibe. There was a stream later on into the month where I'm not even going to specifically name names, because if he was there, he was there. It's not the most big deal. But we had a sponsor and didn't end up doing a sponsor. After that happened, according to the assistants and staff of the creators, they said that FaZe has pulled everybody for the rest of the month and said early. This is the first time where in my head
I cannot. That's crazy. How you get bossed by some big men talking about, yeah, y'all did not do the sponsors, I leave. Y'all are punished for this. Yeah, no, don't go that.
I went, so how much control do we have here? And how much control have over us?
After a short altercation with Playboy Max, FaZe, and the rest of the collective had with a sponsor, it opened his eyes to how much control he actually has over the company, which makes sense. If FaZe over a woman is able to just pull people that are supposed to come on your streams or are supposed to be sponsored with y'all, it really gonna make you sit there and wonder, dang, I'm the one putting in all of this work, I'm the one creating all of this content, yet at one small inconvenience or one small whim, y'all can take away everything that I've worked hard for. Not mainly everything, but just things that we have worked to try and gain, like sponsors, maybe guests, even a house that they could possibly be staying in, because while they might be paying for it as a collective, FaZe is still helping in with a large majority of the money, giving them things like PCs, houses, or whatever they could possibly want. And if they're able to just take that all the way because they're not moving how they want to, it's going to make you question the company that you're supposed to be a part of. Because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be a brotherhood, like you're having fun with a bunch of friends, but you are still at the end of the day at the whim of a company. That he goes into more depth in, as they actually did worse things further on in his career.
Move into January. Y'all know I started 365. Someone at FaZe had introduced me to my old manager, Brandon. Shout out, Brandon. Y'all probably seen him, tall white boy with hair. You feel me? Yeah, 153. Oops. Brandon had
falling out with person who introduced me, and person who introduced me tells me, according to my assistant and my creative director at the time, who were sitting in on all calls because they're on my team, I have to fire my manager and get rid of him, or I can't be here. When they're
that's probably the craziest shit that can happen to you, bro.
That person who introduced me. Video proof as well
Jesus.
Of this meeting. They were there.
Another altercation like this just showed how much control FaZe actually has over Max. Specifically with the person that he is introduced to, that being his new manager at the time, being able to be taken away at a whim just because someone in the higher ups of FaZe, he didn't specify if it was corporate side, an actual member, maybe like even FaZe Banks, telling him that he has to get rid of him or he is going to get dropped from the organization. When you have demands like that or terms like that and people doing those things, it really is going to make you question if you want to stay there or not. Because you don't know what misstep you could possibly make that's going to make you be exiled from the org that you put so much hard work and time in. While yes, this org is helping them and pushing them up and moving them forward in their career, at the end of the day, this brand would be nothing without people like Blackboy Max, Jason Oween, Stable Ronaldo actually streaming and improving it in the ways that they have. So while they were over here using all of this power to basically drive them away, there is no FaZe organization.
Like without FaZe, the current FaZe or the past FaZe, like yesterday kind of FaZe. If they never was there, FaZe Banks still would have had FaZe and he would have different plans. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he's going to mention this, but FaZe Banks said this was probably the worst mistake he could have done because he's now in debt.
At least in this new era without any of them. But of course, more altercations happen, and Max goes more in depth on things that he's also experienced being a part of FaZe.
Y'all remember when Lacey got kicked from FaZe? He really got kicked from FaZe.
Crazy.
He got kicked from FaZe because, according to the assistants and the staff and the cameramen, they said that he had missed a video shoot or something, and we were missing video shoots, and so he actually got kicked from FaZe. Granted, he was allowed back in.
They kicked FaZe, just put him back in. They realized this shit is not going. This shit is not going hold, bro. Like who it was, y'all, bro?
Because all had convos, but yes, he got kicked from FaZe. So my point of this is to tell y'all this: we had no control,
bro. Can you, bro, I don't know if y'all realize, but this is actually insane. They have legit rich men with suits on sitting in an office talking about, yo, I think we should kick FaZe Lacey. He's missing our shoots. That means we're missing out on money. And, you know, I want to fit out my pocket at times. Shut the fuck up! Bro, this shit is about streaming, bro. Like, ongoing FaZe lost its meaning then. Bro, I don't think if anyone realizes this shit, this is about streaming, bro. Why you go white rich men, not only white men, but why you go rich men sitting in suits talking about you, bro? Like, bro, just spark up a scene, get money and leave.
There was no control. Or it's like we're puppets. At least that's what it felt like. You get what I'm saying? Anything could happen at any moment.
Like, bro, that means I gotta compete against people that have a full corporation behind them. It doesn't make sense, bro. Streaming is about sparking up a stream, talking with your fans, you know, get some money up, make bread. Upgrade the setup, keep doing that shit, repeat, bro. Like,
bro, Lacey love FaZe. This campaign for
crash out, bro. Hey, but if I ain't gonna lie, if FaZe puts me back in, I mean, if FaZe puts me in, you know, I'm saying yes.
Like, how can that happen, bro?
Based on everything Blackboy Max is saying, it seemed like FaZe from the start was going to have this downfall happen. As multiple of the members seemed unhappy, it can't be just him that would be upset with Lacey getting kicked. Lacey himself was definitely upset too that he's getting kicked for just missing a FaZe shoot. And they put in so much work, so much grind in order to rebrand and do everything they possibly could. If you are having somebody have this much control over you, you're going to question if you really want to do this. And at the end of the day, what you're building for yourself is a brand that you want to have value, that you want to influence the world. And you're not going to be able to do that if somebody else is calling the shots 24/7 and able to fire you basically out of whim from a group that you've already put in so much effort and hours into. What makes it 20 times worse too is not only that all of these altercations happen, but when Blackboy Max actually came to his decision to be like, hey, I'm just done with FaZe, it wasn't even like the FaZe boys were too upset about it. It was actually the staff that was a part of FaZe Clan that was sending him crazy types of threats, talking bad about him.
I gotta commit. I know I can't be here, bro.
God damn.
Did this wrong multiple times, according to the assistants. As a man, what do I look like, bro? I gotta fight for it. Not fight for it, but I gotta go after what I believe is right and what I want for myself. Even though it's corporate, it's not my boys. You know what I'm saying? And they had to catch some of that too. Now, the reason why a lot of or said whatever the day I left, now it puts them in a position where they look crazy for staying when they wanted to stay. And at the end of the day, if they wanted to stay, they want to stay. That has nothing to do with me. I freed myself. Hopefully they can figure it out one day. You feel me? Or if it work and everything's smooth. When I left, I got told that was there. I'm not talking about the boys who work for. I got told it'd be the worst decision of my life. I got told I would KMS without being in it. I think God that I bet on myself.
That was Max's full side
That's
of why he
crazy.
left
Oh,
FaZe,
that's
and it
crazy.
makes sense. No one wants to be in a work going on at FaZe Clan
Hold on.
around 5 months ago and played a live track to what he had said. I have nothing to do with what's going on at FaZe Clan right now. I left 4 months ago and have moved on with my life. I'm fortunate to see, wishing everybody involved the best. If there's anything I can do to help, I'm here. Nobody loves FaZe more than me. And obviously this could not go well with FaZe Banks to the point where he wanted to step out and talk bad about everything that happened in FaZe Clan, throwing shade at basically every single member.
These streamers, all of them, every last one of them, are forced to appeal to their comms and their chats and narratives on Twitter. And if they don't, they lose viewers. If they don't, they take a hit financially to their career. And this has a huge effect on who their friends are, who they're in relationships with, all of it, everything. Yeah, all this drama is created, and we get on a call 5 months ago and the guys are like, listen, we're over the drama. We think it's best if you just like publicly step down from FaZe, just to cool down the drama online. I reacted very emotionally to this. I was obviously took it very personally and was offended because, again, I used my entire network, every dollar that I've ever made, everything that I've ever had, this brand that I built, I used all of it as leverage to start these guys as a content group and to kick off with the sole goal and intent to bring FaZe back to the top, which we did. We did that all collectively, and none of them could ever dispute the fact. Max just said it himself on his stream. Joining FaZe was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. I've heard that from Lacey. I've heard it from Silky. I've heard it from Jason. I've heard it from Ron. I've heard it from Adapt. I've heard it from every single person that's ever joined FaZe. Specifically these guys. And I'm here to tell you, as former FaZe Banks, this was one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my entire life.
FaZe Banks comes out basically saying that he is frustrated with everything that has happened with FaZe, and it makes sense that he was the brand owner and basically the entire phase of it that made this rebrand happen in the first place. He was the one that recruited everybody that's in new FaZe, and everyone that left recently apparently is the reason that he left himself. And it kind of sucks from his perspective if what he's saying is true, that they basically kicked him out, did all of this stuff for them, and at the end of the day he gets nothing but scraps and is put in debt because of FaZe. That was the main reason why he said it was one of the worst decisions of his life, because he...
By the way, he's going live today as well. If that shit is actually because he said I'm a go live today as well. If he drops some insane bombs we don't know yet, I think it's low-key done. I mean, it's already done, but I feel like it's even gonna ruin the name of FaZe.
He is millions of dollars in debt trying to rebuild this brand that apparently he is letting these kids in his eyes walk away with and basically do whatever they want with, even kick him out, even though he was the one that put them on in the first place. He doesn't even stop there. He continues on saying that them as a whole, as a group, is basically fake. Not only them as a streamer and as a collective, but them being together as a group. They actually don't even like each other, and behind scenes have been talking bad about each other for the longest time.
I just watched some clips from this Black Boy Max stream where he's playing a laugh track over my tweet. Max,
this Black Boy Max seemed like, bro, why you acting like he's no known, bro?
I know we've had like our individual differences, and I know I haven't really seen eye to eye with a lot of the talent because truthfully and honestly, I find you guys all to be incredibly ungrateful. I find you guys all to have insane egos, and I think it's disgusting and makes me sick to my stomach that your guys' relationships with each other and with every other streamer, and your community included, is so incredibly fake. You guys are the best actors on planet Earth, and you've made a complete career out of all of it. Max, these are your boys, but
I'm gonna be honest, I've always watched Save Ronaldo, and sometimes when I look at him, I see that. I gotta see that, bro. I'm not even gonna lie though. Like, I love Ronnie, son. Bro, like, you can kind of low-key see when something is falling.
These are the same guys that said they hated your guts after you left.
So that is crazy, bro. Jesus, why he dropping this shit now? Yo, Akala, I'm waiting for response from all of them. I want to see all of them. I want to see Ronnie. I want to see Adapt. I want to see The Wiener. I want to see Fatty, bro. Like, come on, bro.
And, you know, you're the program, and you have an ego the size. You think you're Travis Scott and this and that, and...
Get them! Fuck you mean?
Also, like, Max, multiple conversations about how Ron's content's cringe, and you guys didn't adapt. None of you guys Lacey or Jason in the beginning. You
Not even Jason?
guys didn't want these guys to live anywhere near you. You barely wanted to share a brand with them. But FaZe was gonna fund a Miami house for you.
Wait, hold on. Wait, but who did not fuck with Jason though? I feel like because Steve Ronaldo loved Jason, so let's remove him out of the picture. That means either BBM, Lacey, or Adept, and Silky. Interesting. I'll say, I don't know.
Rage, Silky, and Kason. So we'll take what we can get. And then it all worked. And we forced this
I'm gonna be that as though FaZe Bang cooked with this. The roster he cooked.
Relationship. And I was called and I was told then I was ruining FaZe, and now 2 years later it wound up being the best thing that ever happened. So you understand why I'm sitting here and I'm frustrated.
FaZe Bank's entire speech was around 13 minutes. I'm not gonna play that entire thing for you, but you got the gist of mainly what he was talking about from those two clips. Calling out the new FaZe boys, saying that they were all fake to each other, talking bad behind their backs, and that streaming in general and them specifically are always being fake, and just abiding by whatever their comm wants and whatever their community wants, which is some crazy accusations to put on some people, especially when they all still technically do content together. Even after Max left FaZe, you could still catch them doing streams together, but if they're all fake to each other and genuinely don't like any of them, then it's pretty odd and weird to say, and it's gonna make a lot of people look at FaZe as a whole very differently. What makes it even worse is he goes in depth, bring up examples of how he's being framed as some malicious guy who is trying to take everything from not only FaZe as a whole, but just the specific people he's put on in FaZe, that being Jason, Ron, Lacey, all of them, when that can be farther from the case according to him.
When all I've ever wanted to do is help FaZe be successful. That's all I've ever wanted to do.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a huge fan of FaZe Bangs, bro, but FaZe Bangs, his story is lining up. But I'm gonna just stay quiet because I will look like a loser if somehow it turns out to be really his fault. But I don't think it is, bro. FaZe Bangs later on said he's in debt. I'm not even lying. In this 12-minute clip, he said himself, "I'm in debt trying to build this." I mean, yeah, you can say, "Oh, I was in debt." Like, look at his room, this and that. Like, you see the NFTs at the background. It sometimes, I mean, the rich people are even in debt, bro. It's the meta, bro, being in debt. But I don't know. I don't think he's in debt for a positive way. Like, he's not getting the money back.
That's the only intent. Where's the money?
I think it's over.
I'm this guy who's trying to take everything from everybody. Where is it? Then why the am I millions of dollars in debt?
That
it's
is.
in Blackboy Max's bank account.
Jesus.
It's in Silky's bank account. It's in Jason, Ronaldo, Lacey's bank account. I wish this never happened. I wish that I never did any of this. And they'll all still tell you this was the best decision they ever made in their life. I'm emotional and I'm passionate. I'm never going to apologize for that. Anything that I do, anything that I speak on, anything that I work on, any talent that I with, anything that I touch, I will always be 100% 2 feet in. That's just who I am. And everything that I'm telling you guys right now is straight facts.
From the beginning, since Blackboy Max,
there, bro. I ain't gonna lie, W vid, bro. W Mans for somehow explain this in 24 minutes. There were some key parts that you forgot about or didn't add in, but I feel like, Jesus, what is you doing, bro?